At Jesus' ascension, his disciples are all gathered around him after the crucifixion, and he's talking to them, and he's giving them these instructions, and he says, "You will be my witnesses to Jerusalem, Judea, Samaria, and to the ends of the earth." And then he's taken up before their eyes. And it's interesting to note the disciples' reaction, because they're kind of looking up into the sky, wondering, okay, what's going on? What's going to happen next? And it's only when the angels appear next to the disciples and they say, "Look, men of Galilee, why do you stand here? Why do you stand here staring up into the sky?" When Jesus said he's going to come back, like he's given you work to do. He has just called you to be his witnesses, and yet here you are standing still. Man, it is just so much easier to stand still than it is to go. It's just kind of human nature to stay stuck with where we are, whether that's our individual behavior or bad habits or patterns of ministry in our individual lives or in the church. We like to stand still with our feet planted because we get comfortable in our comfort zones, and this makes sense, right? But Jesus' call is for us to be his witnesses, and you can't be witnesses if you're just going to kind of stay there staring up into the sky, right? But I think the really good news here is that when Jesus talks about his disciples and he says, "You are my witnesses," he doesn't say, "Okay, now prove to me that you're my witnesses. Now do enough good, now feed the poor enough, now do enough justice, now perform enough good works to ensure that you really are my disciples." Like, you need to validate that or prove that. No, he says, "You are my disciples." He said this at the end of Luke's gospel, actually. He told them, "Look, you are my disciples and you are my witnesses." Witness is something you don't have to qualify for. It's something that you are made by faith, by believing in Jesus. So how might God be calling you this week to take your eyes off the sky and instead to uproot those feet and to get them moving for the sake of your neighbor?